customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. You might even know him, although it's usually silly to ask in cases like that. But it's Mr. Cornelius Hackle.
Hackle? Did you say Cornelius Hackle?
Why, yes.
Why, he's only my chief clerk, that's all. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everyone in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. Why, he's at the opera. He's in all the fashionable homes. He's at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's only got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
Well, what canal?
The
Panama. The Panama. Both.
It isn't the same man.
Who took off the horses of Jenny Lind's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the Fifth Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Astor's? Oh, I won't say it, but it was Cornelius. He's the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, I could see you were taken with him the moment you saw him.
Dolly, what are you saying? I've only spoken to him once in my life.
Excuse me?
Really, of course,
dear.
Oh, well, thank you. Minnie, hold your tongue. There's a man in there!
What? Mrs. Malloy, if there's a man in there...
Oh, no, Mr. Vandergelder, you can't. It's too dangerous.
Oh, Mrs. Levi, no man who hides in a lady's closet can frighten me. Now, will you please stand aside?
No man, indeed. I'm sure you'd make short work of any man. I mean, those muscles. I could see them now, rippling back and forth underneath your shirt. Ripple, 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 back and forth. Ripple, ripple, ripple.
For the last time, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder. That's exactly what the law courts will want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if you don't stand for the law of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, Sir. Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's stamping through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age from a land that oppressed my people, and I must echo what was said by that great and patriotic American,
Moses.
I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's a tear-stained eagle passing. Do you see them on the bridge at Waterloo? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you hear him as he's tramping through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march. I stand for motherhood, America, and a lunch for orphans. I regret that I went like Betsy Ross's flag is passing. In the words of Lincoln, one if I land and two if I see. Yes, Dad, I chop that cherry tree down. Oh, Stonewall Jackson, hear him tramping through the clear of wrath. Stand up and march, march. 7 years ago.
March, march. For more perfect union. March, march. Down the torpedoes, full speed ahead. March, march, march. So you see, Mr. Vandergelder, there couldn't possibly be a man in this closet. God bless you.
Mrs. Malloy.
All right, Mr. Vandergelder. There is a man in that cupboard.
Uh-huh.
And another under that table.
What the devil?
There also happens to be a very simple explanation. Before the present, good afternoon.
Oh, good Lord. The whole room's